What's up guys, and welcome to part 4 of the Ultimate Guide to Dark Souls 3. We're going to be going through the Road of Sacrifices today.
Yeah, so it's fairly straightforward area.
Pretty easy area overall. Boss isn't too difficult.
Fairly short.
Yeah, fairly short area as well.
There's just a sort of big item run in the middle-ish, and that's about it.
So we grabbed Road of Sacrifices during our Undead Settlement run, so if you don't know where the bonfire is, it's down by the Erithal soldier thing, what's the name? Outrider Knight,
yeah.
With the one that drops the Erithal swords down by there. So coming along here, kill this Corvian.
Yeah, that's what they're called. Now, these things will drop the Corvian Great Knife or the Great Corvian Scythe or Shriving Stone, so you'll get the knife or the scythe off.
Speaking of Shriving Stone, that's what you just picked up in that corner, and that is for removing the infusion of a weapon.
Now, in New Game Plus to the left there, if you hug the left wall,
you will see a Corvian Storyteller, and behind the tree will be a Chloranthy Ring in New Game Plus.
Well, more if you take a left from here and just go
around. Yeah, it should be near here. It's on the left side of this. Yeah, probably right there actually. But yeah, so moving on, we should be coming down to the Butcher.
Yeah.
Now this is where we're going to get the Butcher's Knife. It's a strength, it's a big axe basically. It's not as good as it was in Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 1. The health benefits for it aren't really that great.
Still not awful though.
It's not awful, no, but its damage is like less than I'd like it to be, and its recovery is less than I'd like it to be as well. It just doesn't seem to quite pack the punch that it should, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know why this guy followed me, but he just presented down booty.
Yeah, it's fair down.
Yeah.
As ever, the store is +4, putting in the work.
Yeah, you like 2 or 3 shot all the Corvians. So now these are Brigand Twin Daggers. We're going to use these later on in the game because they can help you move around a little bit, because the Sword Art is Quick Step.
Yeah.
Now we won't have the stats for them ever, but you can still use the Sword Art because the game says so. So you equip them in the left hand, hold triangle to equip both of them at the same time, and you can use L2 to skip through areas like swamps or areas where you're wading because you can't walk properly or anything like that, like swamps and the sludge pools in Cathedral of the Deep, for instance.
That is if you just don't equip a dagger in your right hand.
Yeah, dagger also has quick step as well, but Brigand Twin Daggers are one of the ones that you get for free. You'd have to buy a dagger again as a drop.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to drop off this little bit here next to the bridge, and I didn't know this for a long fucking time, but yeah, it's a little hidden area, so you'll get a
Mon's Ring,
and
a tome, and something else.
Yeah, now we're going to give this tome to Arena at the end of the video.
Yeah.
So don't worry, we don't give it to her as soon as we go back, so before anyone fucking comments it, we'll give it to her.
So these Festering Dogs can poison you, and what is it the Festering one drops again? Because I think they don't drop anything significant now. Morn's Ring, which improves miracles, and the Braille Divine Tome, which you would give to Irina to buy. I think you can buy Tears of the Nile from that one. That's something we're going to invest in later on, just as like an extra defense for like stopping us from getting killed. Of course, by the way, guys, we're ignoring ragdoll drops. Just once again, we'll probably mention this every episode, because we don't want to pick them up in case it's something like a large shard or a small shard, and then that like changes the materials we have, and you guys can play to a more advantaged position than us in that you can level your weapons up as much as you like and such. We're just going to go with what the game gives as bare bones.
Yeah, so we're going with absolute bare minimums.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's it for this part, so we're just moving on.
Those Corvian, by the way, a lot of people go for the Storyteller up top first. Don't go for him first, just you 2-shot all the Corvians, 2 or 3 shots, just take out the Corvians as they transform and then go for that guy, because if you got for that guy, you get 3 of them transformed on you.
So this is Amory of Restorer and
Horus.
Yeah, so you talk to Horus and it gives you the Blue Sentinels Covenant. So now we've got a new Covenant, so again, right, you equip that Covenant, and what it will do is you'll be automatically dragged into people's worlds that are wearing the Way of Blue Covenant if they get invaded. So if they're wearing the Way of Blue and they get invaded, there'll be a chance that you'll be dragged into their world to help them beat the invader, essentially. Okay,
so as a Way of Blue, it pretty much works the exact same way as the Dark Moonblade, except Way of Blue will not be summoned in to help players who are invaded by Aldrich while they're in Anor Londo, or the Watchdogs of Farron while they're in the Farron swamps.
Yeah.
For successfully helping the host world, Blue Sentinels are offered Proof of Concord kept as well. Now you can't turn these in until like way later in the game with Yorkshire at Anor Londo, but you can basically stack them up and you can earn Proof of Concords through the Blue Sentinels, and if you rank up the Blue Sentinels, you also rank up the Dark Moonblade at the same time. So the Covenant rewards are the same. 10 Proof of Concords gets you a Dark Moon Ring, and 30 get you the Dark Moon Blade. So it works the same way. The Covenants is the same, apart from Dark Moonblade will also invade in Anor Londo to help people who've been invaded by Aldrich, and they'll also invade in Farron Keep to help people who've been invaded by Watchdog of Farron.
Now, if you want to know where to level up this Covenant, just watch our Anor Londo video, and then that'll show you the location of the person you need to go to turn in these Proof of Concords kept.
Yeah.
But that is essentially it for the Covenant. The Covenants are very simple in this.
So now going from that Road of Sacrifices bonfire, we drop down to the right. We're going to go this path first because this is the path that's most out of the way and the one that we don't have to come back to after this.
Yeah.
Grab the soul packet on the way here, and then we're just moving along this way. Now there's a relatively tough enemy here called a Black Knight, but we're going to try and make this easy. They're relatively easy to backstab because of the Ultra Greatsword that they use. So just try and bait out backstabs or two-hand the sword and R1 spam their face. You should stun them every second hit like every other enemy in the game basically. Just to our left are Cell Sword Twin Blades. We're going to grab them after Black Knight. I don't think you can get this backstab because of the height of the height difference on the stairs. I don't think you can actually get that backstab.
You might be able to. It also seems to just turn around all the fucking time.
Yeah.
However, it should be easy enough to backstab this guy, so you shouldn't have too much of a bother.
Yeah, if he puts his shield up and you two-hand, you won't deflect off it like I did. But you can get the backstab relatively simple, and then once you've done that, just wail on him because don't give him a chance to attack you again, and he can't hit you.
Fuck him.
Yeah. Does he have a chance to drop anything? I think he can drop his armor and his weapon, I think.
The Black Knights can drop... right, so the Black Knight Greatsword, or Black Knight Shield, or any of the parts of the Black Knight set, or an Ember.
Alright, cool. So yeah, they can drop stuff here then. Good. So that means you can get a Black Knight Ultra Greatsword.
So we just picked up a coal there, so that means we can give that to Andre and it will allow us to upgrade our weapons with more infusions than we already can do.
I think that gives us poison,
well, we should be later on in the video anyway.
Yeah, that gives us poison, bleed, and it gives us refined, I think.
Maybe. Anyway, right, so these giant crabs are a pain in the dick. However, you can parry them inexplicably.
Yeah, this one you want to kill anyway because you get the ring from it, which helps pyromancy. It has a grab attack like this, by the way, that I'm really bad at dodging because I get hit by it twice in this video.
Now, if you can't parry for shit, which we generally don't tend to do the guide about, what you want to do is bait out that attack and then just hit it, so you kind of stay a bit further away from it, and then, or bait out that attack as well, roll back, just get a few hits in.
Oh yeah, you can only parry the claw that is raised, by the way. You can't parry the left claw, only the right one.
Well, you just parried the right one.
That's what I'm saying. You can't parry its left claw, only the right claw can be parried. That's at least what you said.
Yeah, right. At least as far as I'm aware anyway, you might be able to parry the left one, but the right one seems to be the easier one.
Well, if I'm wrong, then it's Tony's fault.
Okay.
Now, we didn't do this, but you can equip the Brigand Twin Daggers and two-hand them, go into the dual stance, and you can press L2 to skip through the water a little bit quicker. But this is where you get the Great Swamp Pyromancy Tome, something that we can give to the Pyromancer Cornix, is that his name? Is he Cornix? Yeah. The one in Firelink Shrine, and it will let us buy extra pyros. Now, we've been invaded by Yellowfinger.
Right, to confirm this in the last video, we said that if you're it says that you have to be online to be invaded by NPC invaders. Turns out this isn't actually true. We were just experiencing a bug. Yeah. Some people have went through that, so we're just playing the game online just so we know we'll definitely be invaded. But you can play the game offline and still be invaded.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, so Kirk wasn't working for us, and this one wasn't working for us, and I don't think the Madman in Undead Settlement was working for us either, until we went online, and then they immediately invaded, so that gave us that opinion, basically, but it turns out that is a bug. We just probably didn't look into it enough, but how I don't know how to Google that, can't be invaded by NPCs in offline mode, and it would just come up a bunch of people, complaining that they can't get PvP in offline mode, probably.
Anyway, so we kill Heysel. Heysel can be a bit of a dick, actually, and they can do a decent amount of damage. However, you kill them, you get the pick and the Xanthus Crowns or whatever.
So I'm going to fuck up this crab, just because I feel like...
So, an actual player invades us here, but we kill him in 2 seconds.
Yeah, we are at the peak of the game. This player is only going to do as much damage as me if he also has an Astoris +4 raw, and they won't. So, even if he's got a level advantage, I still out-damage him. So it doesn't matter. So this is the Fallen Knight set. This is another really good set in the game. It's slightly lighter than the Knight set, and you trade, of course, slightly less defense, but it is this armor set that a lot of people use because it makes them look like Guts from Berserk.
Yeah, it looks it's cool as shit, so...
Ayo!
So if you want to look cool as shit, you put that set of armor on.
If you want to look like everybody else, you put that armor on, because it is the go-to noob armor. Alright, so I'm practicing my Kobe because I want to bait one of these guys at a time. You can use a bow, obviously.
Yeah, you could have just done that, actually.
Yeah, but I'm Kobe. Well, NBA, hire me. What up? 3 points. Minimum 3 point there. That was like a 20-yard fucking nothing but net.
Nothing but his fucking head.
LA Lakers better give me that email of fucking, we want to hire you. Quick. If you're dating Dark Souls, I can date in real life. So the Astoria Sword kills these guys in like 7 hits, so they just don't pose any problem.
Yeah, 0 threats.
Yeah, the weapons they use are relatively slow, so you can just fuck them up. I'm wondering, I was like looking at that crab that I killed, wondering if it was a placed item, but it isn't. It's just the crab probably dropped like a fucking soul packet or something.
Yeah.
What do the crabs drop? Oh yeah, these guys, one of them will drop that Great Club, and the other one, this one drops the Curved Dragon Sword, which is really good.
Now, when you beat these guys...
It's not called the Curved Dragon Sword, what's it called in this one again?
Exile Great Sword.
Exile Great Sword, that's the one. It's really good, I like that weapon.
When you beat these guys, I'm pretty sure you can buy their armor off
you
the
can buy
handmaiden anyway. Now, this applies for actually a lot of bosses and shit, and we might end up forgetting to mention it simply because... It just always defaults to her anyway. So.
If you beat a unique enemy, you can probably buy their armor from the hag.
Yeah, we'll mention it as much as possible.
Yeah. So coming up here, there's Homeward Bones. We're going to go down and we're going to get the bonfire for Farron Keep, and that's of course for later in the game. We're not going to go do Farron. We're just going to touch this bonfire, light it. You can rest if you like. I'd say there's no real reason to at this stage.
Depends on the amount of Estus you have.
I mean, we have 2 extra Estus because that guy invaded and get completely dominated.
Yeah.
But
anally devastated.
Anally devastated. It's just split him in 2 with my Ginsu cock. So yeah, we're just touching that bonfire like we did to get the Road of Sacrifices one, the last part.
Yeah.
And now we're just going to move on ahead. Now we've got the center part of this area to go through, and then there's going to be the left side of the swamp where it's all to do with like the Crystal Sage and the magic side of it. This is still very much so the swamp part, so we're just looking at our notes to see where I go here.
Well, not so much that. So the small crabs can drop blood red moss clump or purple moss clump.
It's probably one of them then.
And the big crabs can drop the great swamp ring, which you always get off one of them, and they also drop Titanite shards as well, apparently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you only get the Great Swamp Ring off of that one over there, the one that we did kill. So now we're trying to get our bearings because this swamp is a bit of a... There's not many landmarks, basically.
Yeah.
And...
At least not from our particular perception of it.
That item over there is the Golden Falcon Shield. We're going to get that later on because you have to come from the Crystal Sage side of the swamp to drop down and get that item. So we're going to get that later. So we're just going to come over here. We're going to pick up some Green Blossom, and we're going to get a magic ring as well from down this little tunnel here. So we deviated from the script that we had written because we honestly forgot which direction to go in because it was just... There's no landmarks to tell us where to go. So just have a wander around the swamp because the big crab, there's only 2 of them. They're easy enough for you to take care of. So once you take care of them, there's like really nothing for you to worry about. These guys you can stun lock every second hit. You can kill them with 1 stamina bar because they're stores. So
they're also called lycanthropes. They can drop Titanite shards and embers, which seems to be a recurring theme for almost every enemy in the game. Apparently.
Yeah, it's almost Bloodborne-esque in what they drop. Funny how they also look like they belong in Bloodborne, isn't it?
Funny that.
Aye.
Being a lycanthrope, being...
dropping the what? Dropping Madman's knowledge and blood fucking shards, yes. You know, like a majority of the enemies in Bloodborne.
Anyway, right, so killing this second crab, just the same general tactics as last one. Except this one turns his back on us because he's a fucking cheeky piece of shit. So
I know, the disrespect. So I need to teach him, didn't I? I need to put him in the dirt. You don't disrespect me. I'm a non-binary gender.
No, you can't. I mean, if you disrespect you, then they win. So.
I know. They're probably sexist.
Anyway, right, so we remember our bearings, we know where we might go next. There's a green blossom here somewhere, but we're going to pick up the grass crest shield. Now, you could actually just use the grass crest shield in general if you want. It's a pretty good shield. It has stamina recovery. It's not particularly necessary.
That tree, we might pan around.
Yeah, this tree here, or round about it anyway.
Yeah, there'll be an item here in New Game Plus. It's a ring.
Yeah, Lingering Dragon Crest Ring +1.
Yeah, there you go. So that's the 4 green blossom that we were originally looking for.
Yeah.
And we're going to go down here. Now, that slope on our right, we are going to show you, that slope on our right goes all the way up to the Road of Sacrifices bonfire where we started. Sorry, not the Road of Sacrifices bonfire, the halfway fortress. These lycanthrope hunters are just fucking me because they've got trees for lances and it's really annoying.
They can drop the pike, interestingly enough, which I'm pretty sure you can buy eventually with certain ashes, but they can drop it, so...
So these guys are just a pain in the ass. They attack all sort of like Z-axis though, so you can avoid all their attacks basically with a roll to the side. They do have one sweep attack, and that's it. They're not really difficult, it's just a lot of them fucked me, to put it simple.
Yeah.
And that's another Titanite shard.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun right here.
Now we're going to go up and show you the way that you would go down here normally. So up here would lead us to the Road of Sacrifice, not the halfway fortress bonfire where we spoke to Anri and Horus.
Yeah. Fucking cheeky bastard just jabbing you in the face.
That quick poke is really irritating because it just outspeeds everything.
So like, here's where we started, we jumped down there. Yep. Almost said jump like
and
Gary.
That's the halfway fortress bonfire.
Yeah, so this is where you come down like normally, quote unquote.
This place has the same problem in that there aren't really any landmarks. So our advice is when you get down this path, hug the left wall and just go around that way, and then gradually, like after the wall starts to turn in and take you along the same direction, try cutting across and going back over to here, and then repeating the process with like section off this part of the forest, because there's quite a lot of items here and there's no real landmarks to give you like a good idea of where they actually are.
There's like two hills that look almost exactly identical, so
I'm pretty sure they are identical.
Anyway, so Titanite shard there, and there's also like a Titanite shard around the other side which we're going to get and we'll show you. So yeah, you come around here and there's a big group of these fucking
acid bugs, they're called.
Spider
acid beetles
things.
From Dark Souls 2.
So
I think that's what they called them. Moss, I think they dropped moss. I think this is a soul packet or a Titanite shard or something, but this is a pretty good landmark when there's like 7 of these acid beetles.
Poison horn bugs. They can drop rotten pine resin, apparently.
Oh, nice. So poison buff for your weapon.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good drop, actually.
If poison was actually useful in this game, sure.
Sure.
But I mean, poison ticks away at the same rate as time would to anybody who's aging, so it's essentially useless. So be careful picking this up, because there are a lot of these like fucking lycanthrope hunters. So now I need to try to use an Estus and use a firebomb again. This is a recurring theme in this guide, Tony.
You know, I wish they would yeah, it is, isn't it? Now, I wish they'd have it, like, in the guide book, they name things really like nondescriptly. So instead of lycanthrope hunters, I would just call these things branch hollows. You know exactly what the fuck they are from that name.
I know.
You would call the other thing big cross hollow with chains, but no, apparently that's a lycanthrope. Fucking.
What would you call the acid beetles, which is purple sentient mushroom?
Bug things.
Yeah. See, it's not got quite the same ring to it as acid beetle. I think that's why they didn't do that, Tony.
So anyway, we're just wandering about here, just making sure we did pick up everything. But yeah, we did pick up everything.
So this is us back at like where all the purple mushroom things are that Tony would describe. So this is where the twin dragon great shield would be, on that corpse that's at my feet right there. Yeah,
sorry we took a little bit of time in this particular part. We were just gathering our own bearings. But anyway, there's a fading soul here, which is a completely useless thing. And then a dog jumps out.
What do you mean? 50 souls is totally worth the effort to go collect it.
I
got 100 for killing that hollow. Sorry, lycanthrope hunter.
Anyway, so up here, just there's nothing really, but there's another bonfire inexplicably.
Yeah, for no reason. So that's the archway where the dog and the fading soul are, so you can just basically walk through there and come up here. I was only going around that way to make sure I wouldn't miss anything. Like I said, follow that left wall around and just cut across every now and again so that you can like travel as much of the area as possible and see every item at every angle.
Anyway, keeping the pace up, there is soul packet down here, and there's also another Estus shard down here as well, so that's pretty cool.
This is a pretty good little route to go. There's a couple of lycanthropes, this guy here, straight out of Bloodborne. Now you can't backstab them because they've got the cross on their back.
But does matter because you've got in a store as +4 swords, so you're fuck them.
1 stamina bar is all you need, and that's them dead.
For basically everything.
Yep.
And so, dead.
This item here, this isn't the Estus shard. The Estus shard's further down. That's an ember. The Estus shard's in this corner, and you've got all these guys up here who just, for whatever reason, take ages to fall. This guy's
try to egg each other on.
At one point, they're like, "You do it. Nah, go for it. It's not looking. Go get him. Game's a bogey, sees us."
So we can't be asked with their shit, so we just leave.
Yeah, I kill one more, and I'm like, I'm not waiting on all 30 seconds for these like 2 shots to fall down. Not picking that up because that's an item from the lycanthropes. Their bodies disappear as opposed to ragdoll, which is why I stopped to look, but I remembered.
It's quite strange. Now, so we're right. So now there's another Hodrick thing, which is completely optional. You basically gain nothing from fighting him.
Did you leave him in beating me, aye?
Once.
Aye, of course you did, because you just had to show me getting parried by an NPC, didn't you?
I did.
You just had to, aye.
People will be wondering where the souls went.
What about Parl, Tony? When do you beat him, eh? But yeah, be careful, because this guy fucking one-shot me. Did you see him, like, blocking there, egging me on, like, going, hit me, I dare you, then he goes for the double parry?
So,
Cheeky
yeah, you
cunt.
need to be wary of this bastard.
He turns while Estes, so you can't punish it with a backstab. It's broken, and then he just parries me out of nowhere. And he one-shot me, obviously, because fucking Hodrick.
Wasn't this hard in the previous area, but...
No, I fucking wrecked Hodrick. But whatever, fuck me. I'm just evidently easy parry bait because I just don't give NPCs the credit they deserve.
I mean, this wouldn't be such a problem if you just used your Undead Hunter's Charms to stop your opponent's healing. But you just love fucking...
He didn't heal!
He did,
No, I mean,
he did actually.
Right, okay, but it wasn't the fact that he healed that fucked me, it was the fact that I can't run around and backstab him because he has like a fucking perfect turning circle while he heals. He's not dampened in any way. It's as if he's just standing there looking at me, but he's gaining health in the process.
So I cut out one of your deaths of Hodrick, but he's finally gave in to you and felt pity and let you beat him, so...
Oh, as he gave up parrying me for like the third time, aye.
Yeah,
Right,
but
good.
like I said, just for NPC invaders, generally
You
just...
don't need to do Hodrick, you only net 1,000 souls anyway. We were expecting a vertebra shackle, but he doesn't give you one for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah, I also thought that you got vertebra shackles if you beat...
Look at him going for the... Look at him! Spammy cunt. Mate, whenever he gets the parry, use this to spam. Might as well be a Saestus in his horn.
Don't know what the fuck he was even...
He was going to
attempting.
cast Warmth because he ran out of Estus. Oh yeah, Hodrick can cast Warmth. He also...
Clearly didn't run out of Vestus.
Well, I don't know why he decided to use Warmth then, alright? I can't read a fucking computer's mind. Doesn't he have one?
Anyway, right, so now we
Even
can
if I
move on
was psychic, it wouldn't help.
from that completely useless thing. We're going to go back and I think level up maybe.
Yeah, I think I was looking to see, like, why didn't I get a vertebra? Like, I was thinking maybe it dropped where I killed him, but no, it just didn't give me one because fuck you.
Apparently just don't get one from summoning purple.
But now we can go back and we can use that Estus shard that we picked up.
Yeah.
A dog got too close to me while I was sitting down, that's why it kicked me out of the bonfire. It wasn't me, like, being a tard.
Anyway, back in Firelink, we are going to probably level up as well.
Level up,
maybe.
Estus, yeah, I think that's all we got to do here. We don't have any ashes to give as far as I'm aware yet.
No, not yet.
No, so we're good. So yeah, just give him the coal as well. Coal, that's
yes.
the one. So that gives us a couple of more infusions. That should be bleed poison and it should also be refined, I think.
It may also be blessed, I'm not sure. But we'll see.
You'll see the different refine options that you have. I don't think it's blessed because blessed isn't an option there. But yeah, I'm just looking. I was trying to like bring up the what do you call it, the info box to go over each infusion, but it just doesn't go to that side of the screen for some reason. You can only tell what it is by the iconography, and we all know that's garbage.
They're just coloured circles.
I know. Red box must mean fire, right?
Right, anyway.
So yeah, leveling up. We're dumping into health at this point. We're going to go to 30 health before we touch endurance again because we're doing so much damage with the Astoras that it's going to take about maybe 4 or 5 points in endurance to get an extra swing out, and the health benefits are just better because it gives us we can be in a fight longer, which means we can attack more, whereas 5 points in stamina is only going to get us 1 more swing. And I'd rather have the points in health and stamina, because 20 stamina is a good amount for Dark Souls 3, especially when you're playing it with a longsword because of how light it is for stamina usage. I think it costs... It only costs slightly less stamina to roll than it does to swing the longsword, so it's pretty good. I think you get 5 swings at 20 stamina or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's enough to kill literally everything. Like, you two-shot most things in the game, other than like certain big enemies you have to fucking 5 or 7-shot, but that's nothing.
Anyway, you wanted to kill that hollow with the lantern first, like most lantern hollows, because he'll scream and wake up the other ones, then they'll all attack you at the same time.
And that was the heretic staff that we picked up.
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing up in this top section. Orbeck is dead through this. We're about to go through this doorway. Orbeck is through here to the left, but we're going to go to the right first because that collects the last of the items on that side of this area, and we don't need to go back there anymore.
Orbeck's an NPC, by the way, just so you're...
Orbeck's the sorcerer NPC, the one who will sell you your blue magics.
Yeah. Okay, so the halls in here actually have a particular name. There are... Right, so you've got the Sage's Devout, which could drop the Sorcerer's Staff or potentially Crystal Gems, and then you've got the Sage's Apprentice, which is the ones that have the big hat. They can drop Long Sword, Light Crossbow, Broken Straight Sword, Dagger or Pike, Wooden Shield, Throwing Knives, Firebombs or Crystal Gems, and I don't believe for a second it drops any of those things, so I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that that was a fucking misprint because they don't have any of those weapons.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. The Sage's Apprentice are the ones that have the... Yeah, okay, no. The Sage's Devout is actually the ones that have the big hat, which can drop the Sorcerer's Staff, the Crystal Gem.
Right.
My mistake. The other ones can, in fact, drop those items, so...
Yeah, so if they use those weapons... If they have it on them, they can drop it, is pretty much the go-to thing for Dark Souls 3. A lot of the items in the game that are used against you are items that you can use. Can't get that fucking church mace to leave the little explosive bits behind though, can we? No.
Ah, which would be fucking
Can he get a
amazing.
fucking, like, running scoop with Smo's hammer, can we? No.
Sensing a wee bit of animosity towards
I'm just saying, if they're going to do fan service, they're going to put a bit of fucking effort in.
Anyway, now we're off to Orbeck. Now this is the guy that you need 10 int for, which is why we put our last point of
we had 2 spare points. We put 1 in intelligence for Orbeck and 1 in strength, so we get the 14 for all the crest shields.
Yeah, so the 1 in intelligence is just so we can show you Orbeck's quest line in this particular playthrough. But you know, if you're going to night class, it might be worth doing it in case you just want to respec into something later on. So you might as well just do Orbeck if you want to follow along.
Yep, so recruit him and then fuck up all the scrolls because they're too well organised for Dark Souls, and he doesn't need them anymore because these scrolls amount to about 4 useless fucking utility spells. So all that research, and we give him a couple of books, and then he's like fucking Houdini.
I know. Anyway, get a blue bug pellet because it's marginally, slightly, minorly useful for the boss.
Yeah.
And fuck
there's
up the
holes in the floor here which drop down into that area where the Sage Ring was with the Lycanthrope. You can also summon Aegon in here to help you with the Crystal Sage.
He's actually not too bad. However, at this point you can do so much damage that you can kill the Crystal Sage with like... You'll see, it's 2 pop-ups, you'll see when we get to the boss. So, yeah.
I get a little fucked up here because I get here and I run out of stamina, so I'm like, yeah, I can't fight. So then I run away and I'm like, this has to stop. Stop doing this to me, this isn't fair. These guys are just spamming crystal spears left and right and it's like irritating as fuck. And they've got that deflection bullshit again. Is that all about?
I mean, that's...
I know, but like, come on Dark Souls, give me a wee bit of a horn here, eh?
Okay, so if you're not us, then we recommend that you summon Aegon. But if you are us and you're doing what we're doing, then you're gonna have like 0 fucking issues with this boss.
Yeah. We're going to use a blue bug pellet, of course, to increase our magic defense, which helps against the Crystal Sage immensely. And we're going to buff our Restora's Sword because more damage is more better, and more better is what we want. Yeah.
Now, right, so if you use a... In fact, you'll just see, right, basically when you want to do this, you want to use the Gold Pine Resin on the Restora's Sword because it basically... As soon as you run in and attack the Crystal Sage, you probably shouldn't run, so you can just get a full stamina bar.
Yeah, you want to sprint in and stop it casting as much magic as possible. I just got unlucky and it cast Homing Soul Mass as its first spell. Sometimes it will use the Soul Spears, or it will cast a little purple crystal ball thing that like flies towards you and blows up.
Yeah. Anyway.
I just got unlucky in that it chose to use the Soul Mass there, but run up in 2-handed, swing away on it, same as like every other boss that we come up against as an intro sequence.
So we should probably explain what happens, right? It'll bring up a whole bunch of other forms.
Clones, those crystals will do damage to you, by the way. If you're on top of them when they appear, they'll do damage, otherwise they're just not a problem. The clones will disappear in 1 hit. You can tell which one is the real Sage because the real Sage uses purple magic. I've taken a lot of damage, so I need to like get some cover and heal up, and then I can go in and fight the Sage again. The Sage also has a rapier which is relatively quick, but you outdamage it, so just keep swinging, and it would have died had I not run out of stamina there.
Or if it's two-handed as well. So
now I just get really lucky and hit the actual Crystal Sage somehow.
Yeah. So basically, as you can see, if you buff your sword, you can... If you buff the Restora's +4, you can kill the Crystal Sage in like 2 pop-ups. The first one, and then when it pops up again, you can kill it. So... Yeah. It's 0 like effort. What even is that?
That is it for the area of Road of Sacrifices. Now there's a little bit we have to do when we go back to Firelink Shrine, and then that is us for this episode.
Yeah.
So relatively quick.
Bish bash bosh, area's done.
Right.
Very little faffing about like other times. So what we're going to do is we've got that Pyromancy Tome. So we're going
to make sure Orbeck is here first. if Orbeck is here, if he's not here, just reload the area again. He should be here if you get the 10 int and you did recruit him. If he's here, go to Yuria, speak to her. She will tell you that Orbeck is a problem to the Lord of Hollows, and that sort of gives you a little inkling into the fact that Yuria wants you to kill Orbeck. You can kill Orbeck now and get his ashes. If you give them to Yuria, you get the Marion Blade, and I think you can buy Orbeck's spells off of Yuria, but we're not going to do that yet because you can get them through natural progression without killing Orbeck, and you get the full utility of Orbeck out of it still, and you still get the Marion Blade in the end. But if you want the Marion Blade early, then you can do it now. Marion Blade is essentially a red Tealstone ring. While you have it equipped and your health is 20% or below, you get a damage bonus to your physical attack.
So talk to him and give him the Pyromancy Tome, so that you can buy more Pyromancies now if you so desire.
Yep, we're gonna give the good Divine Tome, the one of Karim, to Irina. We're not going to give her any of the dark ones because then we have to complete her quest line before we get use of them. There's no reason to do that because you only have to buy the miracles, you don't have to give her the tomes.
Yeah.
So we're going to give her the good ones. This will let us buy Tears Denial, which we're going to get later on in the game, and it also lets us buy. She also sells Caressing Prayer, which removes a lot of status effects, which
we fucking integral for one area in the game as well.
Yeah. So she does come into play later on, and just don't give her the dark tomes unless you want to do the dark ending. If you want to do the dark ending, then give her the good tomes and just get all but one basically, and then buy all the dark tomes, and that you get as many miracles as possible. But if you're not going to do the dark ending, just keep the dark tomes on you. That way you can give them to Carla, because there's no reason to give them to anyone else. And of course, Grey Rat's back now because we sent to pillage Undead Settlement. Turns out he will never die in Undead Settlement, my mistake, but he will come back with a bunch of new items like the Pontiff Sword and the Pontiff Shield and stuff like that. Yeah. So have a browse through his inventory in case there's anything you want.
Now his quest gets a little bit more tricky later on, and it's intertwined with 3 other NPCs. But don't worry, we're going to make sure you do it all in one go, so you don't.
Yeah, we're gonna bring Grey Rat's quest line to its like optimal ending, where you can get all of his stuff.
Anyway, right, so now we're going to use the rest of our souls to level up, and that is pretty much it for this episode.
So just more points into health. We'll get to 30 health by the time we fight the next boss, and then we'll put more points into stamina by then. But right now we don't need the stamina, so
yeah.
But that is it for the Road of Sacrifices, guys. So we hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, and the next episode will be
Cathedral of the Deep is our next point of progression. We're not going to do Farron yet because we can earn free stuff in Cathedral of the Deep to help us with Farron.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we can deal with Orbeck at Farron Keep and stuff like that. Seeing as we have to deal with them then, otherwise he'll disappear after the Abyss Walk. We'll get into more detail about that when it comes time to. But yeah, guys. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.